Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
All right, a little Saturday check down here. We got to wait the whole freaking weekend and Monday for the Vikings to play their first game. It felt like we were there on Thursday night because the NFL started, but it's like, no, you actually got to wait like almost another week before your team plays.
If you're a player on the Bears or Vikings, you have to hate this, right? Like
just sitting in your hotel.
It's cool to be in prime
Sunday.
time, and you're like the problem with week one is you've already waited how long? 10 days?
Well, not even 10 days. You've been waiting. You've been waiting 7 months.
Well, right, but I'm saying like now it's supposed to be go time, and now you have to wait even more to play the last game. I don't know. You know what? If I was a player, give me noon Sunday, 3:00 Sunday maybe. Packers Lions, perfect time probably.
Well, 3:00. Yeah, you get that national window. So yeah, welcome into Purple Daily, little Saturday check down episode here, and some potentially offensive quarterback rankings from the Ringer. We love quarterback rankings on this show. So we'll go through the Ringer's week one quarterback, like pre-week one quarterback rankings, and then we can discuss J.J. McCarthy and how high he could potentially climb. But Game Day Men's Health is powering today's episode of Purple Daily here. So, as you see on the screen here on YouTube, I'm a man now. I'm 40. And Game Day Men's Health has been super helpful as I've turned 40 years old with decreased energy compared to 10 years ago, some mental fog, some stubborn weight. And that's where Game Day Men's Health, with 3 locations, Edina, Minnetonka, soon Roseville, comes in with no judgment, just solutions, I should say, to help you reclaim your energy, your vitality, whether it's raising your low testosterone or getting rid of stubborn weight, treatment for ED, peptides, advanced lab work. It's not your typical clinic. Like I said, it's made for men. The vibe is very comfortable, sports lounge vibe, not a sterile doctor's office. And maybe you'll get the same experience that I've had, which is increase in energy and just feeling like I'm 5 or 10 years younger than I did a few months ago. GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Purple Daily. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Purple Daily to take control of your health and your life. So let's just go through these here. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy has not played a game in the NFL yet, so he's not. But he's not going to be ranked like 8th. So we can't be too offended by these.
I'm not
rankings.
offended by JJ.
I actually kind of am offended. I know he hasn't played a game, but there's some dudes above him on this list that, like, because they've played, don't deserve the benefit of the doubt to be above a. I feel like there's a line here, but at the top, Steve Ruiz from The Athletic has Lamar Jackson as the number 1 quarterback in the league. And if you look at productivity and numbers and eye test, obviously Mahomes wins the Super Bowls and Lamar doesn't get there, but Lamar is one of the most productive quarterbacks in NFL history. So would you fight him on that? Lamar number 1?
I think it's Mahomes, but I would. I think there's like a list of 4 that I'm not going to go ape bleep if he's not, a 1. So yes, this is as far as the offensiveness goes. If I was to rank the offensiveness of the rankings, I would put this very low in the triggering category, wouldn't you?
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on the. So Mahomes is number 2, Josh Allen's 3, but then it gets offensive. Even as a Justin Herbert stan, this is offensive.
This is insane.
He's got Justin Herbert 4th, above Joe Burrow, above healthy Matthew Stafford. And then he has C.J. Stroud 7th, with Dak Prescott 8th. Now, if CeeDee Lamb could catch a pass on Thursday night, Dak Prescott might be higher than 8th. Geno Smith 9th, ahead of Jaden Daniels 10, Jared Goff 11, Jordan Love 12, Super Bowl winning Jalen Hurts at 13 on this list.
Yeah, no respect.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So he, in his breakdown of Herbert, because this is the one I really want to hone in on for obvious reasons, he talks about the playoff game that was a stinker. He's had 2 playoff games that have been stinkers. The playoff game where he threw the 4 picks, he actually points out, we have evidence that he's not a turnover-prone quarterback, which is true. But here on the bottom left, and now maybe we're reading too far into this, he has three kind of key stats that he has for each quarterback. It's EPA per play, success rate, and then CPOE, which is completion percentage over expected. Mm-hmm. All right. So, for example, Patrick Mahomes, he's a little not in the top 5 for those rankings. He's 10th, 9th, and 13th. Lamar is 2nd, 4th, and 5th, respectively. I'm giving those 1, 2, 3 stats in EPA success rate and CPOE. Justin Herbert is 11th, 18th, and 16th. Joe Burrow is 4th, 2nd. Like, I don't, this is clearly just, and I think it's obvious, it's bias. It's like, it's what his eye tests are telling him, not even just the statistics. Because putting him ahead of Burrow, putting him ahead, I could hear it on Stafford a little bit, but putting him above Stafford. Jaden Daniels was awesome last year. Dude, Jared Goff, credit to Mackey, Jared Goff has been one of the most productive quarterbacks in the NFL over the last 2 years. I think him being ahead of Goff is ludicrous. So the whole thing, no one strokes the flames like Steve Ruiz with quarterback rankings. It's pretty nuts.
So,
I think it stokes the flames.
Stokes the flames?
Strokes
the flames would be.
It could stroke a flame too. It would hurt like hell, but it would.
You wouldn't want to do that with your
flame,
hand.
no question. So he's clearly trolling though. Like he's just clearly trolling. Like there's no. Phil and I believe, are both in the Herbert camp, and Declan hates him. But yeah, like Phil said, there's no putting him 4th. I mean, Joe Burrow, I'm sorry, but when I said that there's a very small list of quarterbacks who you could put 1, and I wouldn't be like, oh my God, no, that's a huge mistake. Justin Herbert's not there. He's not in that group. So I think, and it probably gets a ton of clicks. I think this is just done for the sake of trying to create as much controversy as he possibly can to get people like us worked up. And, it's not tough. It's not tough, especially when we're waiting all day for Monday night.
And we just spent 6 minutes getting worked up. So congratulations to Steven Ruiz. So Goff 11, Jordan Love 12, Jalen Hurts 13, Kyler Murray 14th, Trevor Lawrence 15th. This is the part where you can put some of these guys in a hat and just talk. But Baker Mayfield 16th behind. You could make a strong case for Baker if you're going to put Justin Herbert 4th and CJ Stroud 7th, you could make a case that Baker Mayfield is above those guys in the NFL right now. And they've got him at 16th. Brock Purdy 17, Drake May. So this is where I start to take some issue. All right, Drake May has a lot of tools, and he doesn't have weapons and stuff, and so it's kind of hard to gauge his performance. But to have him 18th right now is that's like projecting a lot of performance into 2025. 2-19, old Aaron Rodgers at 20, old friend Sam Darnold at 21, Bo Nix at 22, Caleb Williams 23, Russell Wilson 24, Bryce Young 25, Michael Penix 26, Daniel Jones 27, Justin Fields 28, and then you get to J.J. McCarthy at 29, has not played a game yet.
Right. Above
only Joe Flacco, Spencer Rattler, and Cam Ward. And so here's where I take issue. If you're gonna take J.J. McCarthy and put him on the list, even though he's never played a game, but then put him above 3 quarterbacks who have a track record of some kind, how are you drawing that line? So he's, without playing a snap, he's better than Joe Flacco and Cam Ward, who hasn't played a snap, and Spencer Rattler, who's played some snaps. But he's not better than Justin Fields, whose teams have won like 9 games in the half decade he's been a starting quarterback. Or Daniel Jones, who's now bounced around to 3 teams and has been an abject failure. I just find the exercise, I don't know, man. Like, he puts a ton of work into this.
Does he?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to go to the website, it's like crazy deep dives into, I'm not saying he's correct, but there's a ton of work being put into this, for sure.
Yeah. Here's the real question. Why is Cam Ward last, too? Like,
that's the thing.
McCarthy
okay, so neither one of them have played a game.
Yeah.
So none of them have McCarthy and Ward don't have track records.
Yep.
Why are they 3 spots apart? And poor Joe Flacco and Spencer Rattler are caught between the two. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. I'm curious to see how this evolves.
I'm far more offended by the top of that list. Like, I'm offended. Like you're saying you're using all of these metrics, but then you're not really using them. And so, but I mean, you know what? Again, congratulations. It's a Saturday morning. It's a weekend, and you got me worked up. That's good work.
Yeah.
He says, too, how he can rise. So each quarterback, he gives the thing of how they can rise up the rankings. And for McCarthy, he says, playing football will help. I'm judging McCarthy based on a handful of preseason dropbacks and what he did in college. If he proves he can be more than a game manager and throw with a little more touch, he could find himself in the top 20 before season's end. This is why I think I made the prediction a month ago. He won't crack the top 20 until at least November to him, unless he is throwing for 4 touchdowns per game, 380 yards, and the Vikings are undefeated. Like there's no, he didn't put Darnold, I think, any higher than 21 last year, and like I think where Darnold is now, that's appropriate. But like when Darnold was playing at his peak last year, he was playing above the 20th best quarterback in the NFL. So it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before he really probably puts some respect on his name.
Yeah, Darnold, I don't think he kind of refreshed this from last year, but yeah, he had Darnold I think so Darnold's 21 right now. He pretty regularly had Darnold below that level.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. And I get that, seasons change and rosters change and stuff, but now Darnold's up higher. So the real question here is whether you agree or disagree or whatever, you can put J.J. McCarthy wherever you want to. Until he plays a game and proves something, it's hard to really have an argument.
Right.
So the real question here is, how high can he conceivably climb this? What is the best case scenario for J.J. McCarthy on a quarterback ranking list like this? And I'll repeat some of the guys that are higher up here. 9, Geno Smith. 11, Jared Goff. 12, Jordan Love. 14, Kyler Murray. 15, Trevor Lawrence. 17, Brock Purdy. 18, Drake May. So those are some of the names that are sprinkled between 9 and 20. How high could J.J. McCarthy climb?
So if you combine best case scenario, how high could he climb, but also include how do we think the Vikings will use him? Because I think that's part, because, if they go out there and turn him loose and he becomes Joe Montana, he's in the top 10, but that's not going to happen. I don't think he'll get past 20. I don't think he'll get past 20 with how the Vikings should run, and I think will run their scheme. I think he is going to, and look, you know what? If he gets past 20 in this godforsaken ranking, you're taking a chance also that you're turning him loose too much in McCarthy. So I would say he doesn't get past 20, but I also have no problem with that because that also means there's probably an efficiency. Like if he gets to 21 this season, there's probably an efficiency to his game under what O'Connell wants that's working, but he's not trying to do too much or being asked to do too much. So I would say probably around 21.
I think he can be ahead of guys like Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence. I really think Geno Smith is way too high up on this list, but I do think he can be certainly a better quarterback.
It's a good relationship, though.
Than Geno Smith. I think he can be ahead of Drake May. I think he can be ahead of Tua. I think the guys that I'm like, wow, he'd have to really wow me would be guys like, I know it's going to sound harmful, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff. Once we start to get into those guys, then I'd be like, wow, he'd have to be pretty damn good.
But let me highlight a guy who's even higher up than everyone you just mentioned. Based off his rookie season, this ranking and a bunch of others have C.J. Stroud as a top 10.
Yeah,
I think he peaked around 7, 8 in a lot of rankings rookie season, and then maybe came back down between 10 and 15. But the Ringer has C.J. Stroud going into year 3, the 7th best quarterback in the NFL, based on his first 2 years, the first year better than the second year. These are C.J. Stroud's rookie numbers. 64% completions, that's good. It's not elite, but it's a good completion percentage in today's NFL. 4,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, and a passer rating of 100.8 with a QBR of 57.5, which put him between 11th and 15th in the league. And he was offensive rookie of the year. But if I were to tell you, hey, at the end of the year with all these weapons, J.J. McCarthy is going to put up pretty similar numbers to C.J. Stroud. He's going to throw for about 4,000 yards. He's going to throw 23, 25 touchdowns, single-digit interceptions, and have a passer rating that's around 100, which wouldn't even be the Sam Darnold performance from last year, by the way. He would come up kind of short of Sam Darnold's. Well, according to these rankings, that would make him one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the NFL. So, like, I don't see why C.J. Stroud can't be a target for how J.J. McCarthy plays in his first season.
I mean, but what Stroud did was revolutionary for a rookie quarterback. That year for a rookie quarterback, if you're putting him in just that bin, that had only Tom Brady and Joe Montana. Stroud became the third player in league history to lead the league in passing yards per game and touchdown interception ratio per game. That was a historic rookie season. So if he does what C.J. Stroud does, I would be wildly impressed if you're just comparing it to his rookie year.
But then Jaden Daniels came along, and I think pretty
True.
consensus had an even better rookie season last year.
And Jaden, did you say he's 11th in these rankings?
He is
which also makes
10th.
Okay. But yeah, I think McCarthy, I think if you look at what the Vikings are going to do, I think that he probably in this guy's world of how he sort of seems to draw a line, I think 20 is the highest he goes.
Okay. There's a lot, and maybe you're right, but that's the funny thing about the exercise. There's a lot of names above 20 that are very gettable if you have a good first season. Tua, Drake May.
But he seems hesitant, but this guy's Ruiz's rankings seem hesitant to reward that, i.e. Darnold. So I don't know that he's going to do that. Like there's a very arbitrary factor here that I'm trying to get inside the head of Steven Ruiz. I'm trying to knock around in there and figure out what he's doing exactly.
I think Judd's going through a different exercise than me and Declan are.
And it's incredibly arbitrary, but no, it's like so arbitrary. Like why didn't Darnold? I mean, Sam Darnold, other than a few clunkers and unfortunately at the end a couple of clunkers, but Sam Darnold had a season that easily should have vaulted him into at the very lowest, the high teens.
Yeah.
And he never even got close. So I think there's going to be too many things. I think this guy's going to use against McCarthy things like, well, look at what he had. Look at what, and it just feels like that's the arbitrary nature of trying to act like you have a formula.
No.
He doesn't have a formula.
I feel like you're denigrating his effort, at least. I think his result is wrong, but he definitely. Steven put a lot of work into this. It's the very least you could say about this.
Well, that's great.
By the way, if McCarthy does crack the top 20, his reward is going to be a big heaping pile of Dickey's barbecue. Dickey's barbecue on board Purple Daily here. Dickey's Barbecue Pit in Eagan. If you've been craving real Texas-style barbecue,
Football.
That's what I'm talking about.
this is the spot. All about slow smoked perfection, low and slow, just like they do it in Texas, in C.J. Stroud country. Beef brisket, juicy pulled pork, St. Louis style ribs, spicy cheddar sausage. Don't make me keep saying all these salivating things. Each bite packed with authentic smoky barbecue flavor. So if you're getting ready for a big game or a big family gathering, friend gathering, Dickey's caters for any size group you have. The number is 866-BARBECUE, spelled out barbecue, 866-BARBECUE, or order online at dickeys.com. That's Dickey's Barbecue in Eagan, where Minnesota meets real Texas flavor. Two Men in a Truck also powering these Purple Daily in-season episodes, Dex.
That's right. Yeah, so moving season, man. Summer might be the peak of moving season, but it never ends. You know, however your lease has to end, you got to figure out where to live, and then you're starting a new place. It becomes a complicated process. You got to find, God, who can help me move on a Saturday or Sunday? Two Men in a Truck. They can help you make that move happen. They're going to make it super simple for you. No hidden fees, no service charges. I've used them. Phil has used them. They send you over a spreadsheet. What has to be moved out of this house? They will safely package it, put it in that truck, get it out of the truck, get it into your house safely. They're awesome. I don't like moving. Phil has moved all over the country. I have moved a lot over the last 5 years, knock on wood. I'm not moving for a very long time after buying this house, but Two Men in a Truck made it very simple for me. So go to twomeninatruck.com to get your quote today.
Let's take a minute just to go over the Purple Daily schedule for this week, just to keep you guys up to date. It's a Monday game, so it kind of throws off the normal flow of Purple Daily, but it's going to be one of the most fun weeks in recent Purple Daily history because we've got the first game of the season Monday night. So what we're going to do is our Purple Picks Week 1 edition is going to drop Sunday on the Purple Daily feeds, where we go through what the markets are saying, are the thing we're most concerned about, thing we're most confident about, all the things we usually do before we pick the actual game. So that'll drop on Sunday. And then On Monday morning, we're going to go live at 9 a.m., which we usually do the Monday morning after a Sunday Vikings game. But we're going to do our Purple Daily NFL Takes show live on Monday morning at 9 a.m. and just react to a full Sunday slate of games. I'm sure Lions and Packers will be a headline topic on that show. And then post-game Monday night will be the first Vikings Vent Line full squad game reaction show. And the email, if you're new to the show and you're wondering, how do I get on Vikings Vent Line, or I'm going to be in Chicago. We love when people chime in from the stadiums on the road too. It's vikingsventline@gmail.com to send in a request. So I would say wait until the day of the game so that Declan's not getting pinged all weekend on this inbox. But yeah, vikingsventline@gmail.com. And then Tuesday, live again at 9 a.m. Central Time on the Purple Daily YouTube channel for our hottest Vikings takes, our pie chart of praise or blame, and some other topics. We'll have a Doogie episode of Purple Daily, Before I Die, with Jesse and Leighton and Jason, who's going to be at Soldier Field for that. And then on Wednesday, in addition to our Write That Down edition of Purple Daily, we've got our monthly O-Line Committee crossover with Jeremiah Searles as a bonus episode on a Wednesday. And then probably sometime Wednesday into Thursday, we'll do a Trenches with Alex Boone breaking down the film. So the next few days of Purple Daily are going to be absolutely packed and on fire, boys.
They're lit, right? That's what the kids say?
That's the kids say. Yeah.
The lit. The next right. 3 days will be lit, ladies and gentlemen. Got to join us.
We need to have Judd pick a new excitement word from different eras to describe on every day of the show.
Is lit still used, or
not as much?
Is that passe now? Okay, see,
I have a couple
it's more
friends
like a millennial.
Yeah, I have friends that still probably use it a little more than regular. Bussin', that one was a kind of a bigger one in the last year. I feel like it's kind of not as hot as it used to be, but
bussin' means what lit did.
Yeah.
Now lit. See, okay, so I object to that because lit to me, I got it right. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be bussin'.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that doesn't work.
Why doesn't bussin' work, but lit?
Because
does?
Lit is like a flame, it's woo.
But bussin' is I don't know. It's
bussin'
busy,
sounds like a school.
It's hauling.
It sounds like a school bus. It sounds slow. It doesn't sound exciting.
Have you ever heard when people say, and it's a family friendly show here, so I won't say the whole thing, but if you like something, you say I F with that.
Yeah.
So Judd, you would say the next time you're talking about Podrigs or Quick Trip, you could say I F with Quick Trip. And it would mean in a good way.
In a good way. I believe.
Who comes up with who comes up with these terms that then catch fire?
I don't know.
Who's sitting there and is the first person to be you know what, this is going to work and it's going to catch on. Anyway,
do they declare it and then it catches on?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's an innovator.
Between Stephen Ruiz quarterback rankings and words, Judd is.
Do you start it on TikTok though? Yeah. Where do you go, or just multiple platforms you blast out?
I can tell you, lit definitely didn't start on TikTok because TikTok didn't exist when that word was still cool.
Oh, I'm just saying, I got a problem with that.
We're sounding older every day on Purple Daily.
Well, I am old. And the problem is, by the time it gets to me, it's usually not in vogue. It's like Facebook was, right? Facebook was founded, and it was
my generation. I was first year Facebook. Well, MySpace first,
okay.
MySpace
and then in college, Facebook was you had to have that college's login, and it was only a few different colleges. And when it got to Minnesota, it started off as kind of a intercollegiate connected site. You could poke people, and then you could write on their walls. But then once you old people started jumping on board, aunts and uncles and the 50-year-olds, it was I don't know, man.
Or 40-year-olds. I mean, that's a college thing. If you're 40,
I'm a man.
And but if you're a college kid, 40-year-olds, I mean, 50's ancient, but 40's really old too. Yeah, so by the time, the moral of the story is, by the time it gets to me, it's usually dead, and I shouldn't try to explore it.
Yeah, Phil, you're really old.
To the bottom of this.
You're 40.
You're 40. Yeah, you are. You think college kids want anything to do with you?
One of my dad's favorite shirts when I was a kid was 40 isn't old if you're a tree. And so that's what I'm going to stand by.
Well,
all right. We got to run. You'll see Purple Picks tomorrow on the Purple Daily podcast feeds and the YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out with us. This episode was lit.